Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go.
Hey, it's the Empire, Boxing Empire, Baxter Boxing. Now, let's go, champ. Fanning, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, man. A heavyweight, former WBO heavyweight champion. And, if you guys didn't know, man, Shannon the Cannon Briggs has the highest first round knockout ratio in boxing history in the heavyweight division, man. The guy is known for his power, known to be a monster. And, he weighs in on his Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. Now, Deontay Wilder and Shannon the Cannon Briggs, they have a lot in common as far as being a knockout artist and, fighting the best of the best in their heyday. Now, that being said, man, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, he was over there in the UK calling out my boy David Haye for years. I remember like it was yesterday how he called out David Haye, and he had Shannon the Cannon Briggs fighting his undercard, and Shannon Briggs was still hitting with extreme power, and he ended up knocking the guy out on David Haye's undercard. Now, that all being said, man, understand this. Shannon Briggs is one of the elites in American heavyweight boxing. He made a name for himself going country to country, trolling people. Before trolling was a big thing, he was going, trashing Vladimir Klitschko and David Haye, saying, "Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Anywhere you go, I go." My boy Shannon the Cannon Briggs, man, one of the most dedicated guys in the sport of boxing. He wanted to fight no matter what. God knows how much money he spent chasing these guys around, and sometimes the guy might fight, sometimes it didn't. David Haye never took the fight, and to this day, after we've seen David Haye get completely destroyed by Tony Bellew twice, there's no doubt in my mind that Shannon Briggs will most likely stop David Haye as well. So that being said, man, my boy Shannon the Cannon Briggs weighs in on his Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, and I'm gonna get into quotes on what he said. Now, this is what he said. He says, "Don't sleep on Wilder," Briggs tells Sky Sports. "Throughout the history of boxing world, he is a freak of nature. He could crack anybody and knock them out with his power. He'll be willing to be I'm sorry. He says, and I quote, "He will be an underrated guy for a long time because he didn't have a lot of guys to fight. We don't know what he will come in this fight. He might shock the world. Fury might have got the wrong idea. If this guy knocks Fury out, then what? It's possible. With those four, will it be a fourth fight? Fury can't sleep on Wilder. We've just got to look at this for what it is. A 200-pound man with those skinny legs. He shouldn't hit that hard, but he hits sickly hard. It isn't normal to hit that hard, but he can fight backing up. He can't fight backing up." So that's what Shannon the Cannon Briggs says, man. He says that Wilder cannot fight backing up, but his power is shocking, and his physique doesn't make sense for his extreme amount of power he hits. Understand that Shannon Briggs knows that Deontay Wilder is really around 200 pounds. As of recent years, Deontay Wilder has been bulking up. He has been doing a lot of push-ups. He's been doing a lot of sit-ups. He's been getting bigger, but truly, that's just added weight. That's not his natural weight. Some guys have always been big, right? Deontay Wilder is not one of those guys. And the guy is extremely tall. He has a wiry frame, though. The guy has a long basketball-type build, That being said, man, Shannon Briggs said he can't box backing up. And I don't know about that, man. I've seen Deontay Wilder box backing up against people like not Dominic Brazil. Let me think of the guy's name. Bermain Stavern, right? The first fight he fought him, he broke his right hand and he boxed him the whole fight, right? He used a jab and just controlled him the whole fight with the jab. So he can't fight going backwards. I don't know where he got that from. I think watching the second fight, you would assume that Deontay Wilder can't back up fighting, but that's really not it. It's just that Tyson Fury is an extremely tall fighter, and he's taller than Deontay Wilder, so he could be first, really. So if Tyson Fury throws a jab and Deontay Wilder throws a jab, Tyson Fury has a longer reach, so he's going to hit him first. Same thing with Tyson Fury straight right. If they both throw the same punch, Tyson Fury is going to be able to land a straight right first if he backs Deontay Wilder up just because he has longer reach and he's more defensively minded. So there's a good chance that he'll dodge the right hand and counter Deontay Wilder. It seems more, he's like more fundamental because he's more of a boxer, right? So Deontay Wilder, it seems like he can't fight backing up, but I see him do it before, and trying to say he can't fight backing up because taller fighters can walk him down, I'm not sure about that, man. I'm not sure. There's a lot of controversy with the second fight, and Shannon Briggs, I'm positive he understands that. He still talks about Deontay Wilder's power. If you watch the first fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, we see what happened in the 12th round. In the 12th round of a fight that was extremely competitive, Deontay Wilder was still able to basically knock out Tyson Fury in the 12th round, right? That was a long count. Everyone knows it was a long count. The referee even said that I gave Tyson Fury a chance because he was an undefeated champion, right? Basically admitting his bias and saying that he gave Tyson Fury a long count. So all that being said, man, Shannon Briggs still thinks Deontay Wilder is an extremely dangerous fighter, and he basically is leaning more toward Wilder because his power, right, and his dedication to the sport of boxing, right? And he's basically saying that, you know what, people are counting him out because of his record, quote unquote, but he can prove it, he can back it up. Shannon Briggs, like I said earlier, has the highest first round knockout ratio in boxing at the heavyweight division, right? In current times, at least, right? And understand that a knockout artist is saying that another knockout artist, we never see anything like him, and he knows, he knows what a power punch looks like because he is one himself, and he says we still haven't seen anything like that, and he's including himself in that equation, obviously. So yeah, man, we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out, man. Let's go, champ. My boy Shannon the Cannon Briggs, a big deal around the world. Everyone knows who he is, from the Ukraine to the UK to America. The guy's international, man. It's a shame that he was always banking on that one fight with David Haye, and he didn't just get his feet wet in the UK and fight under anyone in the UK, or maybe even do his own promotions. Now that Al Heyman's in the UK, he definitely has a big name, and he can fight the trash man, and people will pay to watch Shannon Briggs fight because he's a character, man. He's a character. He's a good ambassador to the sport of boxing, and he's just fun to watch, fun to hear talk about. He's always, sometimes people get old and then they fall into their ways. Shannon Briggs didn't fall into those ways. He completely rebranded himself out of old age, and now he is who he is today. Shannon Briggs has rebranded himself. You know him more now than he did when he was at his peak, So yeah, man. That being said, man, Shannon Briggs, man, weighs in on this Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder situation. Really interesting stuff. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. I'll link it in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace. Geoboxing Empire.